I've kind of got a lot to cover on this map as an attacker, so I will break it down into a few sections. Attacking on this map is difficult. I would say that it is definitely defender-sided. There's a few things you can do though, and I will try to show the best of Jett's toolkit as much as I can here. So, you saw that I rushed for this orb here. This orb is incredibly close to spawn, and whether you're going A or B, I think that going here first is worth it. If you're able to get an extra point on someone who can resurrect a teammate or throw a global ult zoning tool or anything really. I mean, even Jett's ultimate Bladestorm you can definitely take advantage of, but I think that the utility of other champions might make the orb be prioritized elsewhere. So the first thing you want to do is rush up to this orb from spawn. Get advantage of this bathhouse, get the orb.
30 seconds left.
I'm just going to pause the timer here. Your next options. You have this door. This door is very open, approaching the A site. I would say this is probably your riskiest option. I mean, you can potentially pick somebody here, but the tower at A is my favorite spot to defend on this map by far. Just because of how easy it is. I mean, look at how many doors you cover. It's huge double-sided like metal door that's you're not gonna get shot through the wall. You're able to watch this entrance, that's the primary choke. You're able to watch this door, which is the attacking most direct route, I would say. You're also able to cover your flank relatively easy as an opper, which is always nice. So, I would expect people to be defending this in most matches. If not, great. You definitely want to try to take advantage of that. But when you're attacking, let's say you need to push through this door. Jett's cloudburst can definitely make it happen. You don't want to expose yourself to the door itself, but I would say moving to about here, where the crates are fully within frame, the door is not. What you want to do is put your crosshair just below this T on the reactor sign. Hold C, and move it to about here. Maybe a little farther over, like about there. So we're starting here, ending here, with her cloudburst. This is going to block off that entrance and allow you to get a better position on the map, I think. Even just getting behind these blocks gives you an option of someone can peek from this side, someone can peek from this side. Like, someone can watch this a lot safer. This door is just a high-risk option, but that's one way that Jett can really take advantage of her kit. So again, we'll just go from the T.
Blocking sight.
Pull it in, block that door, maybe rush across the truck, and set up for a plant. So, you go in, you grab your first orb, maybe you want to double back. This might be a little bit better of an option. It does take a little while, but having that orb advantage may be worth the extra time. This is a pretty safe way to get into A site. You have a portal if things go wrong, if someone is pushing up behind, killing your team in that hallway. You have a pretty good vantage point on this door. One good option, if you have somebody like trying to peek it, just use Jett's Q to get another angle. This high ground is actually really nice for getting headshots, finding them before they're going to find you. Typically they're not going to pre-aim up here, which is really nice. And if you crouch down to make your frame a little bit smaller, there you go. You've got a good attack option. Another good cloudburst you could possibly escort your team through this portal with would be starting here and dragging to this spot where it looks like paint was pushed up on the wood. Generally, landing here from this point while holding C is going to drop your cloudburst in front of the door. So let's give it a shot here.
Blocking sight.
That one was high. You gotta go faster. There you go. Alright, so we're going to assume you've gotten this far. You either got a pick through a tower, you were able to get your team pushed up far enough where you're able to safely defend this like middle A-link, B-link area. You want to plant the bomb at A because you decided rotating to B is too risky. You need to plant somewhere where you can easily defend it. Planting in this corner seems like a pretty good option. You're able to both defend from here, which offers you a little bit of cover from double doors push. It does expose you to this. You're able to defend from here, which is another option, but you have to be really careful of getting flanked through this little corridor. And again, this corridor doesn't go far. It's just a flank option. It's definitely a good one. If someone was approaching from defending, they hear the bomb on the other side of the truck. Obviously, they're not going to rush out to middle, They're not trying to cross. This is just the option they have to take unless they want to go all the way across the map. So, they're getting the flank in here. You could be in very big trouble. One option that I do think you have a cloudburst is to crouch right on your plant, aim at the top of this tower, and hold C, drag it to the middle of this little joint. I think that this angle right here, with a held cloudburst, lines it up just about perfectly. Let's give it a shot. Oh, that one was a little high. You want to crouch where it lines up with this triangle.
Blocking sight.
There you go. So you can see I'm not doing it perfectly.
Blocking sight.
It's definitely getting the job done. Like, that's going to cover that position pretty easily.
Blocking sight.
So you get it in the door. It'll let you rotate over here. I think this is a much safer option. You are elevated here, but you're able to pick people up people through this door, out people getting the flank across, and you can drop down for cover if they're pushing in a little bit. And again, once you're through this door, you have the option of the first cloudburst at A site, which again opens up the map. Basically, you're looking for places where you're able to get coverage on this high ground that they definitely have an advantage at. Okay. That's a really good option to get you through the portal if you want to rush B. You're saying, screw A, we're going to B. Obviously don't use your E. I'm just using it for demonstration purpose to save some time. Alright, B site. Let's talk about it. This window right here is incredible. You have amazing sight lines. You're able to cover B hall, B elbow. Most of B site, you should be able to see anybody walking around in their defender spawn. I would almost always recommend, if you have two people, have one person at least posted up here. If you hear the portal, you have good options, like you know that they're going to be walking around this corner. You can use this crate as cover, and you can easily dispatch people that way. Your planter, this corner is where I go the majority of the time. If I can plant like outside, right here on the corner, I will, because it gives me more options. But you can always tuck into this corner too if you're really scared, and it's a 1v1, whatever. So you get the plant down, you want to defend from back here. It's a really safe spot. Any U-shaped corner that you can back yourself into to defend is really nice with Jett, because you always have the option of queuing over. If you know that someone is back here at the store, they killed your guy in this building, you don't want to just wait for them to approach. As soon as you hear footsteps, you hear someone else walking in, push yourself up here with one of your queues, because you're going to have high ground on this door, you're going to be able to see back into this room, and you're able to see this door. This is a good spot to defend from, and it's easy to escape from here. You know that they're pushing from this direction, you drop down this way, you can sneak back, making a flank route if you really wanted, all the way to this door to get behind them. Or I wouldn't run, I would definitely walk. But this is another option. It lets you see, and especially if you have the bomb outside, like near the corner, this is a really good option. As soon as you exit the store, if you want it even, you can just queue, especially if you have your ultimate, just blast them down. That's definitely a more brave approach. There's a lot more reasonable options. It's just easy to stop someone who's defusing when it's outside like that. Yeah, as far as cloudbursts on this zone, I think that most of it is pretty straightforward.
Blocking sight.
You can definitely just block the whole door by hitting that post. You can drop this in the door frame. It'll definitely slow down a push. You can definitely just hit that if your teammate gets killed before you even jump up here. This will give you an upper hand on these people. So yeah, I think that's all the tips I got for this one.
Spike planted.